Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another My Expertise online live show. This is a show that helps you to create and sell your own online courses for profit. And today we're going to focus on the mistakes that I find that online course creators make that can be so easily avoided. I'm Michael Brook from My Expertise Online, and today in the My Expertise Online live show, we're going to look at some of the biggest mistakes that online course creators make. Now, this is not to say this is the only mistakes online course creators make, because there's a ton of mistakes that you can make, of course. And in fact, I make mistakes all the time when I'm creating my online courses. You know, if you're not making mistakes, you're not actually in it, are you? But these are 4 mistakes that I find that online course creators do make on a regular basis that can so easily be avoided. And I just wanted to walk you through those. But first, I just wanted to take you through the total online course blueprint, because this is the blueprint that we use whenever we are working with our clients or whenever we are training our clients. So it doesn't matter whether you are one of our Done For You course members. This is our Done For You program, is where we actually help you, work with you, and take your course from nothing virtually to market, where you're actually making profit out of your online course. Or whether you are part of our academy. The academy, just like everything else, has got 3 pillars. And just about everything we do focuses on these 3 pillars. And those 3 pillars are online course creation strategies and tactics and know-how, obviously. Mindset, that's something that we usually have to deal with in the pre phase. And then marketing. And our marketing is our bootstrap marketing, which is no cost or low cost marketing strategies for your online course. So it doesn't matter what we do with people, we follow this blueprint. And you can see it takes us through the mindset, getting the concept right, the design, getting the design right, making it sticky, making it work. And then into the phase that everybody thinks about when we're making online courses, which is the creation bit. Then into publishing, where we actually get it ready and take it to market, and then marketing, where we actually turn it into profit. So back to those 3 mistakes that people make. And once again, let me reiterate that these are not mistakes that are exclusive. We all make mistakes, but these are things that we could fix pretty easily. Now, the first mistake is to focus purely on the content and not on the results. Now, it's a really easy thing to do when when you've been doing something. Say you've been a coach, a trainer, a consultant for a long time. Often when you're going to sit down and you're going to think about creating an online course, you think about how much you know and how much you could give to people, how much you could share. And when you do that, you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to get overwhelmed, and the chances are you are going to overwhelm your audience. Because if you were to focus on everything you know and trying to put everything in that course, well, of course, it's going to lead to overwhelm. There's years and years of content in there. And so really what you should be thinking about is, what results do you want your audience to take away? What do you want them to be able to do as a result of going through your online course? And more specifically, what transformation do you expect will happen as a result of going through your online course? Excuse me. And in order to do that, what you need to think about is giving them results in advance. If you think about giving them the results in advance so that they know what they're going to achieve, then they feel so much more optimistic about your course. Now, if you just focus on the content, you'll end up overwhelmed, they'll end up overwhelmed, and it won't be a great experience. So, on to mistake number 2. It's related very much to mistake number 1. which is going too broad. And if you try and put everything that you know into your online course, of course it will be broad. It will be massive. But I would urge you to hold back from that, because nobody's saying that you have to put everything that you know in one course. You might want to create several courses. And in doing that, you can get very targeted, and you can get very specific, and you can get very niche. And the secret to this is don't go broad, get specific, because it's specifics that sell, because people can relate to what you're talking about. And if it's too broad, if it's too big, they're going to find that really difficult. So that's the second point. Don't get too broad, stick to the specifics, or make sure you focus on specifics. Then let's focus on mistake number 3, which is related to too much content, but it's more about creating your advanced course too soon. It's very easy to think about making the most advanced course that you could make. I get people coming here working with me who want to make the degree level or even the PhD level course. And believe you me, it just leads to disaster. There's room for making an advanced course later down the track. But if you're new to this, and if you're trying to create something early on in your course creation career, you might want to think about making a beginner's course. Because if you create a beginner's course, there's all sorts of advantages. 1, it's easy for people to consume. 2, there's lots of beginners out there, so you're going to sell loads more of it. 3, you can keep the price cheaper because it's not too granular, it's not too deep. And 4, it won't take you as long to make, and it won't be as overwhelming, which might be 5. So don't put too much content in there, and don't make that content too advanced. Try and step back from that, especially at first, and try and think about creating a beginner's course. Now, if you remember, excuse me, from the pricing module, we talked about that level just below the sweet spot. And if you haven't seen the pro pricing strategies, go and have a look. It's live in here. It was a live recording that we did yesterday, actually, but it's in Facebook. Think about the level below the bread and butter price point. Think about the beginner's course that you might choose to sell for £200, £300. But if you think about selling that course for £200, first of all, there's a lot of people out there that will want that course. There's an awful lot of beginners out there. And if you just sell 10 of those beginners courses at £200 every single month, well, then you're making an additional £2,000 of additional income every month, which I would argue is worth it for any of us. And you can make it so much easier. You'll sell a lot more of them, probably 10 times more than 10 a month, because there's so many beginners out there. It makes a lot of sense. And then you take those beginners with you onto your bread and butter program, that sweet spot in the middle where you might be charging £500, and then all the way up to your most advanced program where you give them support as well. And you might be charging as much as £1,000 or even £2,000. So there's a lot of advantages in starting with a beginner's program. Then let's think about the mistake number 4. Now, mistake number 4 is about getting too advanced and letting the tech get in the way. Don't get too advanced and keep the tech silly simple. Because if you're not very technically minded, it's easy to get bogged down in the tech. So try and make this tech as streamlined as possible. Don't get too advanced, and make it as simple as possible. And if you need to outsource various bits of your course creation strategy or your course creation with somebody that's got some very specific technical skills, well, do it. Don't get bogged down. Don't think that you have to do every single thing. That's definitely my advice on the tech. So the secret to success when designing and creating your course, and to avoid some of these mistakes that can be avoided, the simple idea is work back from the results. Think about what do you want people to leave with that they didn't arrive with, and work back from that point. It was Stephen Covey in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People many years ago, I think in the late 70s, early 80s, talked about start with the end in mind. And when you're creating your online course, always start with the end in mind. Think about what results you want people to leave with and work back from that point. Thanks for taking the time to watch today for this live. I know there won't have been many live people on the actual broadcast, but it will be there for you all to get later on. And what I'd like to offer you is is the opportunity to book a call with me. I always offer people this opportunity. Book a call with me. The link will be in the description below, or it will be in the comments, maybe over here on the side. 30 minutes working on what you want to talk about. What is it that you've got in mind thinking about your own online course? And I will get right under the bonnet with you, where we can look at your course ideas, the problems you've got, the concerns that you've got, and I will try and help you in that 30-minute call. It's a completely no obligation free call. The details are below. Go there, take a look, sign up for a free call. That takes you straight through to my diary. We'll just spend 30 minutes together and we'll have a great chat. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that, and I will see you next time.